Hi there. Right, today I thought I'd do a little bit of construction, and I wanted to, or I always give my dad for Christmas and birthday some bottles of ale or beer of some kind, and usually I make a little bag for him, but this time I thought I would create a little beer caddy. So after a little bit of thought about how I could do it, this is what I've come up with. So there's 4 slots of 3 by 3. That's not a very good, or it's not the right size, but sort of that size that they can go into. Could even be a little bit big, but we'll see. See how it goes, but I thought I'd make a video about how I made it, and I've got to make another one for something else, so this is what I'm going to do. So I've done quite a bit of the cutting and preparation beforehand, so I'll talk through what I needed and what scores and cuts I made and gluing I did to get to this. Yeah, the papers on it are very old Hobbycraft papers. I doubt very much they're still in circulation, but I bought a couple of packs at the time, so obviously you could use any papers, Christmas, birthday, you could make your own, but I've got these prepared. So what I did was, because I needed to have, or by my calculations, which I worked out on a little scrap of paper, I needed a piece 14 by 14. And obviously the biggest card I had was A3, so, and that's not quite, it's long enough, but it's obviously not wide enough, so I had to be a bit creative, and what I ended up doing was sticking 2 A3 pieces, which I cut down to 10 by 14, and then sticking them together at the so there was 4 inches either side. And let me you'll just be able to see. So from the marks, there's 4 inches this side and then 4 inches this side. So as long as I had that, it also meant that I had a middle section which had reinforcement. So that was the thinking behind that, or that was how I came about solving that problem. I then needed 2 more pieces, one 8 by 4 for the middle slot section, and then another piece at 8 by 4, which is going to create my handles and the another section. So these will, once I've made a cut in the middle, this will slot down here like that. Which I'll do in a moment. So I've already prepared as you can see, I've already prepared the pieces, and probably need to pull the camera out a little bit so that you can see the whole piece. Just need to do some adjusting. Right, just bear with me and I'll just adjust my camera. Can't quite get it high enough, so we'll stick with it for the moment, but basically this piece is 14 by 14, and I have scored at 4 inches, or down each side I've scored at 4 inches and then 10 inches, and I've done that on that side as well. So you've basically ended up with a square or piece of card that has got scores down each side from the 4-inch marker, and that's created a square in the middle of 6 inches wide. So what I've then done is down 2 of the sides, I have with scissors, I have on the score mark, just inside the score mark, I have cut down to the score line of the corresponding side. So I've cut down there, and then I've cut an angle to that score line and pulled that little wedge out, and I've done that. I like to do them so there's 2 on each side, but some people just go round each corner, so they would then go round and do that one, and then go round and do that one, and then go round to do that one, whereas I personally like to do 2 on each side, so that when I come to fold them, these bits will both fold into the middle. That will make a bit more sense in a minute. So that's that. Then with my 4x8 bit, I've scored down the 1 inch. I've scored down 1 inch and 7 inches, and I have cut off at an angle of about 4 inches, and then cut the rest away. And I've done that on both sides so that I've got a piece that looks like that. And that was from the 8x8 piece of card that I needed. And that's going to make our handle, our middle bit with our handle on. And then this bit, as I say, I've scored at 1 and 7 inches, and that's just going to be the middle slot. So there's our pieces. So what I need to do is make my folds, which now it's doubled up is quite difficult, but we will get there. Okay, I needed it to be quite sturdy because obviously beer bottles are not light, but it does make it a little bit more difficult to score the card and fold it. So there we go. So then those are like that. We'll fold in our bits. Oops. And the reason I take a wedge out at the bottom is if the card isn't quite the right size, when you fold it, you then have a little bit of room to pull these down so that they don't come over the top here. So otherwise, if you don't, they could sit like that. You can see the difference. Whereas with a little bit of wedge taken down, you can move it down and it will be below the line. Okay. So we'll just fold those. Like that. And then we'll just fold this. There we go. That's all our folds made. Okay. So then we'll come back to this, and then what I need to do is these need to be glued together like that. Okay, so I'm going to glue down these sides. I'm going to do one side at a time, and I'm just going to put glue. I think I use Collal. Collal is always quite good for construction because it sets like concrete basically. Put a bit on there. Right, and then bring that over, bring that up, and then make sure that this side meets that side, and down here, so down this corner, and then this side down this corner. Right, and then we can that's that one. Right, so then we're going to do the same down this side. Bit trickier once you've got one side done, but or at least it's trickier when you're trying to get it on camera. And again, bring this up so that that meets that side, that corner down here. And then that meets that corner, like that. There we go, like that. And then I would just take my foam folder and ensure all the glue is spread. There. Right. Okay. So then we have a square box, basically. So next I am going to put in my middle slot. To do that I need to just make sure that I'm putting it, doesn't really matter, I'm putting it at 3 inches, or in the middle at 3 inches in this case. So I will just make a marker. Again, this side. Three inches. So I've just made a little mark at 3 inches, just here. And then I'll just vaguely make sure it runs down the middle, so that, what did I do with it? So that when I put these folds in, I can line them up. So I again like to do one fold to each side, as I find it when it's slotted in, it more evenly spreads the or holds the piece, whereas if you fold them both this side one way, it tends to bow out, whereas this way it tends to stay straight. Although we're going to put a piece across it anyway, so it probably doesn't matter. Right, just reinforce the score marks, and then I'll put some glue down one side. it up with one of the 3-inch markers I've drawn, and just hold it for a second while it sets. Okay, so that's in there like that, and then we're going to do the other side. Should have put the glue on first. Just spreading the glue. Right. And then I'm going to line that up with that 3-inch marker and the line. There we go. Oops, moved a bit. Sitting quite straight. Okay, we'll do it. Right, so that's in there. So next, what I need to do is bring this piece in, and I'm going to make a mark at the middle way, which is 4 inches, and I make a little mark at there, but I'm going to cut up to, I might just need a mark across here, so I'm putting in just to help me find, yeah, so I'm putting in a little mark at the 3-inch in the middle there, and then I'm going to make sure that I cut my line about there. Okay, right, and I'm going to do that with scissors. Check I've got that in the middle. Right. I'm just going to cut it so that I cut a little slither to make a narrow gap. Probably won't be able to see it, but and then that is hopefully, I'll just do my folds. That will slot over there like that. Okay, first, before I do that, again I need a 3-inch or midway marker, so I'm doing that at 3-inch. And 3-inch. Right, so there we go. I'm now going to put these in. So again, I'm lining it up with that 3-inch marker. Can't see that, but trying to make sure I've got it fairly straight, and do that on the other side. Straight there. Do get quite a bit of wiggle time with collal as well, so I think we're just about there. So then we've got that. Oops, no, we'll go a bit off with that side. So we'll just see if we can move that over. Yeah, right. Okay, so now we've got this. Apologies for the shadows. I'm filming this on a stormy day, so okay. Right. Okay. Now to decorate, or to add our layers, our decoration, I've cut out 4 bits that are just smaller than the measurements of the box, which was 4 by 6. So that's 4 inches high, 6 inches wide, and this is 5 7/8 by 3 7/8. You see that? So it will have an 1/8 of an inch around the edge, like that. Okay, and I've cut out 4 of those, so I just need to right. Do like the Collal glue, but I don't like their bottles. So we'll then pop that on there, trying to get a nice even border, and then there we go. I'll do this side. Okay, so what I've done to decorate the, excuse my dog, what I've done to decorate the top to this part, I've cut a bit that's, what is it? It will be 5 7/8 by 7 7/8, although to be honest, most of this bottom part you're not going to be able to see, so if you're 7.5 inches or yeah, it's not going to matter. Probably may even I may need to take a little bit off that if I want a border at the top. I'm not quite judged that, so that's what we'll do. And I'm just going to do that with my craft knife by eye. So I'll take off about 1/8 of an inch. So it's not going to matter too much because we can just adjust it. Right, so I've got one each of those, and also what I've done is up to the middle mark, so up to about 4 inches, maybe just over, oh no, just under, I have cut a slither out. So I've made it about an eighth of an inch wide, and I've taken a middle bit out, and I've done that on both bits so that when we go to put it in here, it can just nicely slot over the top like that. And I'm going to do that for both sides. There we go. Okay, so let's glue that in now. Okay, so we've now got a box that looks like that. I didn't quite get this central, so I'd be a bit more careful with your measurements when putting the middle bit in if you try and make this. So the last thing to do is to, which I should have probably done before I put my handle in, but the last bit to do is to make a handle. So what I now need to do is calculate where I want my handle. Now on my original I did it, let's see, it's about 1 inch wide, and it's about 2 1/4 inches down from the top, the bottom level. So here is 2 1/4 inches. So I think that's what I'll do for this one. However, what I would suggest is you do it before you put this in, because you probably decorate your piece and put the hole in before you glue in your middle partition, your tall middle partition, because it's going to be quite awkward for me to make a hole now. But I'll go away and do that and come back. It's on, you know, I'm gonna have to do it against my desk, and you're not going to see me do it. So I'll go away and do that and come back in a moment. Okay, so I managed to just about cut that out. So what I didn't say before I went away is I did it so that it was about so I calculated that it was about 1 1/8, 1 1/4 from the middle each side. So I think I've just miscalculated this side, but I can cut a bit more off. So so I've got a 2 1/2 inch gap, which I can get my hands through. So, and as I say, it's 1 inch wide, and I'm just gonna cut a bit more off. Okay, so I've just made that a little bit bigger and straighter. Yeah, so I've now, it's 2.5 inches wide and 1 inch deep. So from the 3 inch, around 1.25 that way, and then 1.25 that way. And yeah, so that was 2.25 from the top, just over 2.25 from the top of the middle strip. So then we've got our beer caddy, so which I could go ahead and put some more decoration on. I'm going to make a tag out of the papers that I've got left over. I've got a whole sheet of 12 by 12 left, and this little strip. So from that I'll make a card to match the beer caddy, and a tag. Yeah, so I hope that was useful, if a little scrappy towards the end there. Apologies for that, and thank you for watching. Take care, bye.